Hey guys, what is up? We're back with another week of Gachiakuta, and I know I'm a little behind a little bit, but all I want to say is no spoilers. I did find a spoiler. It wasn't this series. It was for Call of the Night. I tell everybody, do not spoil, because I will delete the comments. I just have to put that out there, you know. Do not spoil. If you want to talk about it, only talk about the chapters the episode adapted from. If it's only 2 chapters, you talk about those 2 chapters, nothing further, because there may be people that don't read the manga. In my case with this series, I do, but this is for any series I decide to put on the channel. Not only that, I do have something exciting that I will be putting out later this week. It's different. It's actually similar in terms to other contents that I did, but I'll give you guys a little bit more of a rundown of it when I actually do upload that video sometime later this week. But in pertaining to Gachiakuta, now we have Rudo, our main protagonist, who this story is a revenge story, but not in the sense that you can think of. He was wrongfully accused, as we know of. Then he got sent down to the ground, where he met Enjin, who is also a giver like Rudo, and he is a cleaner, right? He wanted to test Rudo by giving him to people that particularly hated the sky people and everything, and Rudo is trying to figure out, like, who was the person behind my dad's murder, unjustifiably so. And then he was the one that got caught in the act, even though he never did it, and was accused of such a thing. So he was betrayed by so many people, and so now he wants to get his get back, as he should, but it's going to take him quite a while and figure out a way how to get from the ground back up to the heavens, right? And with Enjin, he gave him the offer to become a cleaner, and then my poor boy is just like, no. But as we know, the story goes, and if you saw the PVs, my boy's looking fresh, right? So without further ado, let's get into Gachiakuta episode 3. Oh wow. I mean, it's one way to see in the manga, but to see it like colored and animated. How you? That is true. Yeah. They kind of go into lore about Alice. Yep. Yeah. They don't like Al at all. I'm not gonna lie, this look mad cool in color, bro. Oh. Nah. But I keep trying to. What? Like. Yeah, so they have different, basically, ports. Or different cities. Yeah. And if you guys are confused by anima, like the way they explain it in the manga is more like a thought, a feeling, and that's the core of what creates the jinkies or the vital instruments. Low key, they look like what you call it, hunters. Like how each silhouette was mad individualistic and unique in like Hunter x Hunter, all the hunters. Same thing with this. Mm-mm. Yeah. That's true. That's unique. Like I didn't think it was gonna sound like that. Yeah. Way to fight that man, taking his poor clothes. And look at the cat. Look at the cat. God stealing, bro. Oh, I like this background music. Okay. Yep. Yep. Mm-hmm. My boy, the potential man. Yeah. Yeah. Acid stuff. It was just a love stick, bro. All I know is it was called the love stick. Don't know why he calls it that. Don't ask me why. Yeah. Hey, yeah, yeah. That he was foul for that part, bro. He was really like you don't know his life, bro. That was like you don't tell somebody like your parents on streets like you don't know what their life is. You don't go straight insulting their parenthood. Like, come on. Yeah. And this is where y'all see Budo isn't all about the revenge. This is it. He's like, wait, this actually worked. Yeah. Don't do it. Don't do it. Don't do it, my boy. Don't do it. 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 He's trying. He was trying, okay, Zanka? He's never smiled before. It's worse than animation. Don't say that to me. Like, I get it, you offended because that is a creepy smile, but it's just like he wasn't trying to offend you, Zanka, like that. Bro, you picking fights with the boy. He already apologized. That's the thing I didn't understand in the manga at all. Nope. He's a little special. My son is a little different from others. He is a little crash out though. I'll admit that. Rudo's a little crash out. Oh god. I'm gonna start crying, bro. Oh, can I say, if somebody was to come at, you can't fight, bro. You can't fight. You can't fight. There's certain things that will stop you from fighting. What in the Scooby Doo? Why a lullaby? Nothing. Oh. 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 Oh god. If it was me, bro, Right, go again. You touch me with. Oh God. Oh God. How wicked is. Oh God. Nothing but wickedness. You laughing. You the whole grown adult. You laughing. Yeah. It wickedness. Oh, it's wickedness, bro. Yeah. Best girl. That's all I gotta say. Best girl. Yeah. Mm. Yeah. Yeah. They just be vibing out there, bro, and surviving too. But you know, my boy is satisfied that he got complimented. My son is having someone play with his hair for the first time. Like, it's different. It's different. He not used to this. Okay, so this episode was damn hilarious. I'm not even gonna hold you. Like, I'm laughing. And then what's the cherry on top about this episode is it was the music that was used during the Scooby-Doo chase scene between Rudo and Zanka. They literally introduced the duo from Team Akuta, right? Which they'll explain further, because in the cleaners there are teams, and so Zanka is part of Team Akuta, right? And obviously see Rio. So Zanka, please do not spoil yourself, but he is pretty proficient in with his jinky, right? Which is the love staff. I don't know why they give it a sister staff. I mean, we call it the love staff, bro. In all honesty, don't ask me why he calls it that. Honestly, I don't know why. I don't know why. The love staff, like my boy. You saw my boy sniffing his own staff, bro. He's aligned with it. He said, I know your smell, your texture and everything. I am one with you, bro. And again, he's very proficient. Like, you met a lot of characters in multitude of series that are very proficient when it comes to using staffs, right? Like in martial arts and everything. He's a good character. I will give you that. Okay, and then the thing is, when you hear him saying ordinary, in this world, when you think about it, Rudo is an anomaly, right? Because you'll quickly realize, like, how much people in the series who are givers cannot manipulate objects as freely as Rudo can. He can manipulate more than one, right? And then for the most part, most givers, if anything, they can only manipulate one item, right? So again, Rudo is a very special case. Hence why you have where Zanka is like, I'm the my English is failing me, my extraordinary ordinary guy, and then you have the genius, right? So there's going to be a lot of times where we see where these two are going to clash with each other. And the way I understand it too, it's also like, despite him being really good at using his jinky, you can obviously tell, like, with the wording of like, I'm the ordinary roll of the mill Joe type of guy, and then you're like one of a dozen. There is underlining of like insecurity. Okay. I'm not going to go further into that because, again, that's going into deeper parts of the manga, which I'm not going to explain. That more you'll know more about Zanka as the season goes by, but like, to get more full in depth of his character, that's more like a season 2. From what I'm seeing, they're like adapting roughly almost 3 chapters. So if they keep doing this for the next 21 episodes, I'm thinking they may adapt up to, if they adapt, and also they add a little bit more stuff in there, like, again, the chase scene with the plunger. And this also tells you that, like, the sphere or the upper world and everything, they don't use stuff like this. They feel like they too classy. So for Ruda not to know a plunger, you're going to see obviously differences, things that the ground uses versus the sphere, what they don't use. Okay. But you're going to, they're going to get, going back to Zanka, they're going to go more into detail, more than likely, if this season does really well, which no doubt I feel like it is. Season 2 is where you'll get more in depth of the entire story of Gachiakuta, right? But other than that, this episode was pretty hilarious. I did like a lot of the sound effects. The doctor is a woman, by the way. I know her voice sounds very masculine and everything, but again, they're going to explain. There's a lot of things that they have to explain in this series, from the littlest things to the bigger things that cover overall what's happening in the world. But there are little nuances in this series that you do have to keep in mind, and by watching the anime, probably will also help me like fill in the spaces of, you know, what happens in the series, probably by them adding scenes, because it's not only just a straightforward adaptation. They are adding in things that were not placed in the manga to like kind of stretch out and explore more of the story that we probably couldn't have got originally with the manga, given that one is a weekly series, and Urana Sensei has to be up to date with the deadlines and everything. But yeah, this was another great episode, particularly very funny. Again, the chase scene, and then when it came down to the final act, it sounded like a lullaby. Like I'm not gonna hold y'all. There are certain things in life that if you was to have a physical altercation with somebody, there are things that an individual has to do to completely just turn you off from beating the brakes off of them. One will be they act crazy. They making loud noises or anything. You say, you know what, I don't want no parts. I was wrong for this. Another is they strict. Some people will still fight you for that, but I think majority will be like, you know what, you have a good day. I want no parts. Another is if someone is devious enough to take poop and fling it at you. At that point, all will to fight is gone. I can't even be mad no more. I am thoroughly disgusted. I gotta go take a hot, scalding, burning shower now. You just launch poop. You launch feces at me. can catch all sorts of diseases, and that was flung at me, bro. I lost the will to fight. I will never trouble that person a day in my, bro. I wouldn't even come out of my house. My pride has been shot. My ego is diminished. I'm embarrassed. Oh, there are several things in life that makes fighting not worth it, and this getting poop flinged at you is number one, bro. You thought it was gonna be spit. No, spit makes you want to fight the person even more, because now you're just being disrespectful. But if you used to take number 3 and decided to spread it around town to share with everybody for the love of the game, and then you want to act like, bro, I didn't know it was that serious. I didn't know on the plunger there was human ends on it. My boy was traumatized low key. I don't blame him. If it was me, I'm never coming out of my room again. I promise you, I would not come out of my room, because I am traumatized. I see the person who committed the act. I am traumatized now. Okay, but also, again, I said it in the video, but we are introduced to best girl Rio. Like, I'm so serious. Anime onlys, you're gonna enjoy Rio's character, and I feel like with the way that they're pacing the series, we may get to that particular arc. I'm just gonna warn y'all by now, do not act weird when this particular character comes on, particularly their relationship with Rudo. Again, manga readers, I am a manga reader and I read your comments. I moderate all things that happen on my channel. Do not spoil, but I feel like with the way that they're adapting the series, if they keep up the 2 to 3 chapters per episode, this individual is going to show in this season. Definitely this individual. And not only that, they just dropped recently, I believe yesterday, episode 4's previews, and there's another character, Seimu. She's the reason why I got into this series, bro. She's my favorite. She's one of my favorite characters, bro, aside from Enjin. I can't wait to see her next week. Okay, but there's, like I said, there's another character. With the way that they're adapting this series, I believe they're gonna reach that particular arc. That's like the last thing that they're going to adapt before we hear possibly a season 2 is already greenlit, and they're currently adapting and creating it, right? I have a huge feeling we're gonna get a season 2. It's just a matter of hearing when it's going to come out. But again, another great episode. Adaptation wise, smoothly. Added scenes, really funny. The chasing scene, again, the Scooby-Doo chasing scene, and the ending of that scene, as if it was a sweet lullaby, but it was sweet terror. Well, not even sweet, it was stink terror at the end of the day. Okay, and now we got a little understanding of what the ground is entailing and how things are down there. As Enjin said, it's more like, to get info, you gotta give something up. Okay, so it's rough in these parts, and overall I do like how they depicted art style wise and everything, because it's one thing to see in the manga, but it's another to see it colored and things moving and all that stuff. So I really did enjoy that about the episode. So if you guys read the chapters I believe 3 to 6, because that's what this episode adapted from, do tell me how you felt about it. What were some things you noticed, some things that you realized they took away, added, so on and so forth. Nothing further than chapter 6. Anime only, how do you feel overall about this episode? How do you feel about the introduction of Zanka as well as Rio, and how are you feeling so far about the series now that we hit the 3-episode threshold? The links are in the description box. You guys go check it out. And I'm Kimi-chan, and I'll see you guys later. Bye. With